Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Well, by now you have heard the news. President Trump announces a 2-week double-sided ceasefire hours before the Iran deadline. Dominic Carter here from you. This is your hour to sound off on what's happening in the world as it relates to this. 800-848-9222. Now, under the agreement, the oil will be able to flow through. So, but what I'm concerned about here is Iran's Supreme National Security Council, which has confirmed the ceasefire agreement, is noting that it does not amount to full-fledged peace. I don't know what's wrong with these people. And there's a quote in which it says, it is emphasized that this does not signify the termination of the war. In a statement, according to the Associated Press, our hands remain upon the trigger, and should the slightest error be committed by the enemy, it shall be met with full force. Doesn't sound like somebody or any country that's interested, or at least leadership, in peace. But it is a victory because the oil will flow through, reportedly effective immediately. And of course, the mainstream media already having a field day trying to say that at the end of the day, President Trump caved. He didn't cave. It's just you're looking for anything to try and blame this man for others' mistakes. 800-848-9222. The fact of the matter is President Trump kept the pressure on. I want you to listen to this. This is Jim Hansen on the Fox News channel.
We proved we can and will crush them. And it's kind of interesting, the same deal's been on the table for this entire time. And all of a sudden now they're going to go ahead and accept it. What changed? What changed was President Trump threatening to end the Islamic Republic completely. And I think that was an eye-opener. They believed him, and they should believe him. And I think I have a question for all the people who were losing their minds today and howling, that President Trump should be hauled out of the White House in shackles and frog-marched away to be tried for war crimes. Now that it worked, now that that hyperbolic rhetoric stopped an additional escalation, is he going to get an apology from them? I doubt it. What he's going to get is the opportunity to prove to everyone that they had a plan, they worked the plan, they destroyed the capabilities and the will of the enemy, and now we're going to the negotiating table to give a peace that can work and security for the region.
I want to go ahead and open up the phone lines right now. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Let's begin with line one, Sandra in Queens. Sandra, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. What I'm worried about is that the Iranians, just like other Mideastern groups, have the patience of Job. Just like when they bombed the hotel on the west side, and then they waited years before 9/11. I'm afraid that the pundits aren't thinking that way because the United States people are instant gratification, and Mideastern people seem to have the patience to wait to tell us what we want to hear. And they can lie because the Quran says that you can lie to infidels. And we're going to think that everything is all right. And then they're going to come back at us later.
Now, Sandra, do you really believe that President Trump is going to, in your words, believe everything is all right? You think he's going to be that naive?
No, I don't think he is, but I think all his advisors might be.
But the buck stops with the president.
Yeah, but he didn't bomb them when he said he was going to do it recently.
What are you talking about right now?
Originally, he said he was going to do something on Tuesday, and I think it may have been you, I'm not sure, said, do you think he's going to wait till Tuesday? He's telling them Tuesday. He'll probably do it Monday, and I was waiting and nothing happened.
No, you didn't hear me say that because I know all of this is posturing and it's all negotiation. So it's publicly, putting out full force, but it's all in the art of the deal. So you didn't hear me say that. But Sandra, thank you so much for the telephone call. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Tony. Tony in New Jersey. Tony, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Dominic? It's been a while.
I'm well. Go right ahead, please.
I want to talk about, when they broke up Yugoslavia, we had Tito in charge over there. And what we need is a Tito. President Trump needs a Tito type of general that he could deal with on Iran. And this way we could get out of this mess because Tito was a strong man, but also he was a pragmatic person. And the West could deal with him. And we did because he was anti-Russian.
Okay,
but
so wait, you're saying on the Iranian side, I'm a bit lost, Tony.
Yes, if we could find some kind of general who would be like Tito in Yugoslavia.
But we don't get to control their leaders. They've already shown, their fierce independence. So how could that ever be?
Well, you'd have to really look hard, and Trump is a wheeler dealer, so he could probably find somebody that would be willing to become the number one man over there and take over. As long as he could deal with the Western powers, we could live with that. And I don't think Iran will ever become a democracy. That's wishful thinking, and that
sure does. Tony, it seems like you're right in that regard. Just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Tony, thank you very much for the telephone call. Again, folks, leading up to all of this in terms of what happened tonight, again, I want to turn to Fox News. Laura Ingraham, very popular, as we all know, her take on how this all played out.
We start tonight with a very big Fox News alert. The deadline is off, and we have what's being called a double-sided ceasefire. A live report from the region in moments. Now, I want to tell you how we were scheduled to start the show. I spent all afternoon writing the script. Started like this. Tick-tock. T-minus 59 minutes, 30 seconds. Until Donald Trump's 8 p.m. deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. But just moments ago, Donald Trump posted this. And it's the entire Truth Social post where essentially he says, based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran. And it continues to go on. And I just got off the phone with President Trump. And I will say this. We'll read the whole post later. I literally just had to rewrite the whole show. He was extremely serious in my conversation with him just now. And he was also cautiously but seriously optimistic. He told me that the negotiations are and were incredibly complex. He does not want them jeopardized. There still needs to be an announced agreement. And, of course, we all know in this part of the world, anything can happen. But it sure looks like Iran blinked. So, again, the Truth Social post, now I will read it. based on conversation with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and the Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off on the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran, and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, that's key, I agreed to suspend the bombing and the attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran.
And so that's the situation of where we stand right now, folks, a 2-week ceasefire. The way the Iranians have dealt with this thus far, I don't think this is over by any means. So I don't know if we can take a sigh of relief, but at least the situation has been de-escalated off the brink from where it was for just a few hours ago. I'm going to come back to this in just 1 second. I want to divert for a second to for a minute or so, to the mayor of New York City. He's doing something that's very divisive, extremely divisive. He's coming forth with these racial ideas. I don't know where this guy is going with this, but just do me a favor, folks. I want you to listen to the mayor of New York City, Mayor Mamdani. He's come forth with this racial disparity thing. He's a socialist. And all this is going to do is get people hurt, and it's going to further polarize America. This is the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Listen closely and carefully to what he's saying here.
There's a report in City and State today about how your administration removed DEI language from the racial equity report that you released this week. Why was that decision made, and do you support that decision?
So I want to be very clear. Our administration inherited a report that the prior administration had refused to release, a report that had been heavily diluted over many rounds of revisions. We took the time to strengthen this report to ensure that it was actually an accurate reflection of the city that we all love and know as our home, and to actually release this report within the first 100 days. Now, in this report, what we've seen, it's a report that is both coupled with a true cost of living report, is that the inequities in this city, the racial inequities, are stark. We are talking about findings that have shown that the wealth of a median white household in the city is more than $200,000, while that of a black household is less than $20,000. This is not an indictment of any one New Yorker. It is an indictment, however, of policies and politics that have persisted for far too long. Our commitment now is to act upon these findings, to do so in concert with New Yorkers' comments, as we've now opened a public comment period for the next 30 days to ensure that we have a city where we are reckoning with the long history of racism here and starting to act upon a framework that puts equity right at the center of it. Thank you.
Sure. But why remove the DEI language?
We put forward a stronger report that actually reflects the realities New Yorkers are living through.
So we're dealing with a lot this morning. Iran, this guy here in New York City, the mayor. I've got to take a break. We're going to be going to more of your telephone calls, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. In a moment, we're going back to your telephone calls. The one thing that's clear with this entire situation as it relates to Iran, when this is all over, said and done, the U.S. needs to reevaluate our relationship with so-called allies. And that's exactly the same point that Secretary of State Marco Rubio is making.
When we need them to allow us to use their military bases, their answer is no. Then why are we in NATO? You have to ask that question. Why do we have billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, over the years, trillions of dollars, and all these American forces stationed in the region? If we can only use, in our time of need, we're not going to be allowed to use those bases. So I think there's no doubt, unfortunately, after this conflict is concluded, we are going to have to re-examine that relationship. We're going to have to re-examine the value of NATO and that alliance for our country. Ultimately, that's a decision for the president to make, and he'll have to make it. We're going to finish the job here. As I said, we're very, very close to achieving our objectives on all of these things that I've outlined. But I do think, unfortunately, we are going to have to re-examine whether or not this alliance that has served this country well for a while is still serving that purpose, or is it now become a one-way street where America is simply in a position to defend Europe, but when we need the help of our allies, they're going to deny us basing rights and they're going to deny us overflight? I think these are very legitimate questions that we need to be asking, and this are going to have to be very carefully examined after this conflict is over.
Mr. Secretary of State, unfortunately, it's a one-way street. It appears these days where America is being taken advantage of. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Ben, line 1 in Brooklyn. Ben, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, just want to give you a word of thanks for all you do to bring the truth out. And, that's basically it. Yeah, just keep up the good work.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hey, Ben, have you paid attention to what's happening with Iran?
Oh, yeah, I have been. I listen to too much news sometimes, and some people say it gets me depressed. And so I haven't been listening that much. I did tune into Rita a little bit, and, the stuff that Democrats are talking about is crazy. And, also, here's another observation. I'm a Marine. I got a Marine friend that's a Democrat. And, it's like he realized I voted for Trump, and the things that are going on in Iran now, he says it's, like we're doing evil stuff. And, it's like he doesn't know about all the 47 years of the problems that they caused for us, killing, soldiers and stuff like that. So, yeah, exactly. I'm kind of up on it. And, but keep up the good work. And, America, make America great again.
And it does seem that our president, Ben, I proudly voted for him as well. And it seems like that's exactly what our president is trying to do. Hey, Ben, before I let you go, because I like to hear different voices from time to time. It's a nice thing. Why do you think the media is so out to get President Trump?
You know what? I would say that, here's my I would say because they're bought and sold by, Democrat socialism. So
okay, socialism. Okay,
so it's like that's their thing, and so we're against as conservatives, we're against that.
Right. Hey, Ben, thank you for the wonderful call. I got a hard break I have to hit. More of your telephone calls, folks, coming up. 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. A 2-week ceasefire as it relates to Iran and the U.S. Back to your telephone calls this busy news morning, 800-848-9222. Let's go to Sherman, line 2 in Manhattan. Sherman, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning to you too, Dominic. Outstanding show.
Thank you.
Respectfully, you're welcome. I've always said and thought, especially recently within the last 10 years, Europe, the whole world, essentially, nobody has our back except Israel. See, I grew up in Brooklyn, and my father always told me, you're going to know who your friends are, especially if you get in a jam, especially if you get into a fight, especially if you have a girlfriend that's attractive. And the only country that seems to have our back in terms of being a friend, willing to put out blood and sweat and bombs and manpower is Israel. With all due respect, I would never trust France. The president of France was slapped in the face on a plane getting off by his wife. You can go to Google and see it. He tried to pretend like they were just having some lighthearted nonsense. So France is a basket case. There are no-go sections over there. The police don't even go in certain areas. The ghettos over there, the project over there, are no joke. Italy is really rough and bad too. London, forget about it. They listen. The extremist Muslims in London tell the government and the police to their faces that they're going to implement Sharia law over there. London is already a lost cause. The Europeans are too, shall I say, too sophisticated. They're too, they're no real. If you look at all the politics, the only place is serious is Poland, Hungary, and with all due respect, Russia too. That's it. Denmark, Sweden, you name it. Finland, nobody's on our side. Greenland doesn't want to give us a little piece of land. I am glad to hear Rubio say what he said. I have no real respect for these countries, and we should not have all these troops everywhere, spending billions. We should circle our own country with the troops. Get them out of Japan, get them out of South Korea. The South Koreans would never do anything for us if the SHIT really hit the fan. So why are we wasting our time? That's a long time ago, this North Korea. Listen, let them kill each other if they want, North Korea, South Korea. We have no skin in the game. We have nothing to do. Listen, they got a great economy, South Korea. So it's time for us to circle the wagons, especially with London, especially with NATO. And Russia's upset because they're being surrounded by NATO. So listen, people want to demonize Putin, but objectively, he's right. Why should he be surrounded by all these NATO countries that don't like him? And Russia helped America get rid of the Nazis. If it wasn't for Russia, maybe we would have had a tougher time. So people act like Russia's the big enemy. No, the people that don't help you are the real enemy. These phony Europeans smile in your face. They don't respect us. They're jealous of us. It's time for us to circle the wagon, save all that money. And I'm glad to hear Rubio talk like that.
Well, Sherman, thank you for your thoughts. President Trump is sure exposing exactly what's going on. And I do think you're on to something when you say that these countries are jealous of America, because at the end of the day, I think that's exactly what it is. And I like your analogy, Sherman, about when you're in trouble, you're going to find out who your true friends are. If you have a cute girlfriend, you're going to find who your back is up against the wall. You're going to find out then. Sherman, as always, thank you for the call. Let's go to Jimmy, line 1 in Connecticut. Jimmy, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic Carter. I love listening to your show.
Well, thank you. That's kind of you to say.
And I will also tell you I listen to WABC probably 99.9% of the time. No more satellite, no more FM, and there's nothing else substantive on the AM dial except, in my opinion, WABC.
Well, that's kind of you to say, Jimmy. What's going on?
Attacking Trump is basically attacking Trump. These Democrat, socialist, lefties. And the media do so because it sells papers, it sells airtime, it gets cumulative audiences, et cetera, and then on. You know where I'm going, and they're sensationalizing this entire thing. And I remember for decades ago, we were hearing about Iran for the first time with the Ayatollah and so on and so forth. And the consensus was, go over there and bomb them and get rid of the virus, and Trump is the only, Donald Trump is the only president who has had the moxie to, go there and do that. And I give him a lot of credit. I think our country is going to be a better place. I think that the globe is going to be a safer and, more sane place. And I think, and you want to talk about war crimes, 45,000 Iranian civilians have been slaughtered this year, 2026 alone, right? So, I mean, this is first quarter of 26. They're hanging kids, college students, athletes for protesting. It's just a disgrace, and I am
Jimmy,
completely
you're
behind
onto something because
Trump.
the media is focusing on Trump, but for the most part ignoring the real human rights violations that are occurring in Iran. Hey, Jimmy, thank you for the wonderful call. We look forward to hearing from you in the future. Very kind words. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Max, line 2 in Manhattan. Max, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. Thank you for taking my call. You had someone call in, and his name is Sherman. He was talking about what's happening in Europe. He hit it on the head there, 100%. There, you have this Muslim invasion in England, and it's practically taking over England. It's spreading over here to the U.S., to Plano, Texas, to Dearborn, Michigan, and it's spreading like a fire. Right now in Plano, Texas, they have 330 mosques. And by the way, Dominic, if someone came up to you and they said, you know what, Dominic, I don't think it's good you move into our neighborhood, I think you might investigate and maybe take them to court. That's the same thing that's happening in Plano, Texas. If someone who's a Christian wants to move into a Muslim neighborhood, into that Muslim neighborhood in Epic City, they tell them, no, I'm sorry, you can't move in, you're not Muslim. These are people who came from other countries and telling us that we cannot move in there.
Well, I hear you, Max. That's a common theme from you. I mean, I just don't know that to be true, but I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I don't know it to be true. Thank you so much for the call. Let's see. We have some other callers. I want to hear you folks this morning. A busy news morning. Let's go to Marianne, line 4 in Queens. Marianne, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning. From my point of view, Donald Trump is not fighting just against Iran. The Democrat Party has been sabotaging, even in the time of war, the United States. Because what they're doing is they're making believe to the world that Donald Trump is by himself. NATO is a scary cat, but they are negotiating with the Democrats because of the pending elections. They believe that the people that we have in the Republican Party are going to lose. So they don't want to negotiate with anything with Trump. They are like scary cats. Now, the Democrat Party has made sure with the media that people do not see the quality of work that this man is doing. This is the first time that a president of the United States is confronting Iran. He is almost destroying the whole country. And instead of having the country together, the Democrat Party has to go out there and discredit whatever he does because they don't want people to see the kind of president that we have. This is the first time that Iran has anyone confronting them. So the Democrat Party has to come up with a show making believe that he doesn't know what he's doing, but they are helping Iran from the inside. This is a war inside United States against the United States. We have to make sure that in these elections, we give them a lesson and we win those elections. Otherwise, United States is going to be destroyed from inside from the Democrat Party the media, and now we have Iran. But Iran is really hurt. They know that they lost. So I believe that Donald Trump is going to be in history as the best president of this era. But
I don't know about this era. I'd say the best president of the United States ever. When it's all said and done,
I agree.
He's taking on all the right fights. He's doing all the right things, and it's just, I mean, if he could just, and Marianne, thank you for the great call. If he could just get a fair shake from the media. And it just seems like that's not going to happen. I want you folks to listen to this. Jesse Waters, Soundbite 17 on the Fox News channel.
Trump just got Iran to cry uncle. They've been calling him crazy for making threats, but guess the threats worked. The Strait's on its way to being opened, and Iran's promising to stop firing missiles and drones. The next 24 hours will be the test. If oil tankers start sailing through, we're on our way to officially ending this and hitting the president's 6-week time frame. If they play games, back to bridge and power plant day. The mullahs should know better. Their economy's in a depression. Heavy industry like steel, petrochemicals, and their military-industrial complex have been obliterated. People were already taking to the streets during the last economic crisis, and now it's 10 times worse. All morning, we were peppering their crown jewel, Karg Island. That's something Iran can't afford to lose. And our B-52s are already on their way to theater today, but Iran had no choice. The New York Times is also reporting China begged the Iranians to take the deal, saying their economy couldn't take it anymore. The regime was backed into a corner, and the president believed that sending in soldiers to open up the strait and seize Karg wouldn't be wise.
So, again, and if I thought the president went too far or did something wrong, believe me, I would point it out. You have to understand there's a reason why he's referred to as the art of the deal. You may not like his personality. You may not like his tweets. You may not like what he says sometimes that may be profanity laced. But is he getting the job done? Isn't that ultimately the only thing that counts? Ultimately? I believe that's what counts. I wish that he could run for a third term because he would win in a landslide. Again, a landslide. And I would hope that they would put Kamala up against him one more time. Let's see here. Let's go to Chuck in the Bronx, line 1. Chuck, what's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my call, Dominic. This is my second time calling you. I appreciate your show. My take on this war and that 2-week break is that Iran will get some help from whoever, maybe Russia, to reload. I think we should reload and stand by and don't take it for granted that they really want to settle down because they're tough people. And I hope that our administration would bring in more heavy equipment and stand by in case they back off, because it's for 47 years they've been bullshitting us. It's time now to hit them where it hurts. That's my take.
Well, Chuck, do you think that this president is really going to stand down? I mean, do you really? Because anybody that just observed him knows that there's a 2-week ceasefire, but you got to know he's already making plans behind the scenes for all types of options. I mean, you don't think he's just going to stand by, do you? And wait and watch and see.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the thought. But I'm also taking it from a biblical vantage point that says when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction. And these people, it is alleged that Russia is giving directives and giving some sort of guidance to where our troops are located and assisting them on the low. So we got to step up and realize we fighting Russia too, okay?
Right. Fair enough. And Chuck, thank you for the great call. Don't be a stranger. We want to hear from you in the future. Folks, we see your calls continuing to come in. The number to reach me live right now up until the top of the hour, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. I want to continue with your telephone calls. So I'm going to go to Jerry in Manhattan. And Jerry, I believe every time I talk to you, you're against what President Trump has done in Iran. So I believe you'll probably be saying the same right about now, but I hope you're ready for the pushback. Good morning, Jerry.
Sure,
what's
absolutely.
on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. The bottom line is, before this war started, before the U.S. started this war, the Strait of Hormuz was open to all shipping. Iran had no control over it at all. Now, Trump's trying to get out of this. Right now, that 10-point plan from Iran, they are in control of the Straits of Hormuz based on their military control. They will decide what ships go in and out. And Trump's he never had any goals. He never had any goals.
So Jerry,
I think he's crazy.
President Trump, was he supposed to do what every other American president did and just look the other way while Iran bullies the world and bullies the U.S.? Is that what he was supposed to do?
No, but a war without goals, without telling the American people what he's doing, is unconscionable. Okay,
but
let me add one thing.
Who says that he doesn't have goals? A man at his level of success, Jerry, do you really think that he doesn't have goals with this war?
Absolutely.
And as a matter of fact, he says that he achieved them. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, well, he's a liar. He's a liar. Everything he says is a lie.
See, now the true colors are coming out. So
Well,
why
He's
do you despise the president so much, Jerry?
Because of what he's doing to the people of this country. Let me say
Okay, and what did Biden do for the people of this country?
I'm not talking about Biden.
I'm talking about Biden.
Trump.
That left
No,
Biden left. I'd say 60% of the country wanting to commit suicide. What about what Biden did? Can you focus for a second? I played your little game. Were you happy with Biden?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so what makes you happy, Jerry?
Trump. Well,
right. Well, you don't sound like you did, but okay. So you did. Okay, so tell me about the job that Biden did.
I'm not talking about Biden. We're talking about now, the present circumstances with Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants to increase military spending by $500 billion. You know how that's going to hurt, all from social programs. He's cutting hundreds of social programs. The people in this country are suffering because of Donald Trump.
No, people in this country are suffering because Biden opened the borders and we're all paying for it, and Trump is trying to clean it up.
I agree with that. I agree.
Okay, Jerry, thank you for the call. We get it. We get it. You open up your can of Trump haterade. We get it, Jerry. We got it. Let's go to Vincent, line 2 in Brooklyn. Vincent, what's on your mind?
I knew Jerry was just going to talk about the social programs, a lot of those social programs and schemes. What I want to talk about is I'm glad Donald Trump is doing what he's doing. This should have been done 46 years ago. It would have spared countless American servicemen and women's lives all around the world. This should have been done 6 months after Ronald Reagan got into office, before those crazy revolutionary students in Iran, because that's what they were. They had to call the Ayatollah, who was in exile in France, to come and be their leader. They didn't know what they were doing. If Ronald Reagan would have attacked them soon as he got his war cabinet together and he got all his people in place, we wouldn't have had to suffer 46 years of their nonsense, threatening the world, doing like North Korea is doing now, saying we're going to blow you up. That's what Jerry's appeasement gets. Everybody was appeasing these people. Barack Obama sending plane loads of cash and all kinds of currencies from around the world. You notice he doesn't talk about the men and women in the service who were killed, who were maimed, the towers in Lebanon, the USS Cole, and on and on and on. But yet, he wants
Vincent, wait. I have to step in because we're out of time. We should have got to you earlier, man, because you're on a roll. Folks, we'll continue to follow this story. I will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern later today. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Think Verizon is expensive? Think again. Anyone can bring their AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. So bring us your bill. Walk in, run in, pogo stick in, teleport if you can. Ride on the back of a rollerblading yak or fly in on the wings of a majestic falcon. Any way you can, bring your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal on the best network. Based on RootMetrics Best Overall Mobile Network Performance, U.S. second half 2025. All rights reserved. Must provide very recent postpaid consumer mobile bill in the name of the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.